It was different in the fact that, like, you know, it's fun for the first time in Sundance. That was kind of cool to do that. What was cool about this one was that we feel like this is the best version of the movie. It's not only the ending. The ending was different, but we've also, since Sundance, kind of edited the tone, like the timing of things. I think it moves a little quicker. The jokes, I think there were times in Sundance where we had the way we edited it, people would laugh over another joke because it was kind of too close. We worked a lot on spacing things out. So for us, it was fun to see, I think, the ultimate version of the movie with this kind of audience here. And they seemed to, you know, last night, they seemed to really react really well to us. So
I think kind of your point of the timing, and you know, is that with comedy especially, you kind of need to test it in front of an audience, because you know what we find like hilarious, somebody else might not, and then there's things that we didn't even think of. So once you show it to an audience, which to us the first audience we were showed it to was Sundance, you get some feedback, and so we were lucky that we could even incorporate some of that, you know, just seeing, you know, that feedback.
Right.
So yeah, it was great for us to
that was the kind of two differences. I feel like it was fun to see it first time in Sundance, but fun here to feel like this is the best version of this movie.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But also at Sundance, we were like, holy shit, everybody could just walk out. They could just hate it because, you know there's kids.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's the Mormon joke in it. There's a joke about she could, you know, be having a baby because she's a Mormon. But that actually killed.
That was played in Salt Lake City, like in one of their more like the less festival kind of theaters, and that got the biggest joke.
Did it really?
So I don't know if it was people who weren't Mormons who were like laughing because they were in Salt Lake, or if it was Mormons like laughing themselves. But it was funny. It was good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It was I think these days they have to have self-humor, like about those things. Yeah.
Do you think that the setting here at the Stanley changed the audience reaction to? How much of that influenced, do you think?
I think, I think I think the audience here is ready to be scared. I think hopefully the funny part of it was surprising, and that maybe even in a good way got them pleasantly surprised that they weren't just there to be scared. And hopefully the scare parts were legit. And you guys can tell us about that. But I think it was, there was some real tension there.
But really, we were just hoping everyone was like a little kind of out from the altitude or totally stoned. So one or the other, just like a little off kilter, helps when you're watching Cooties.
Yeah. Sure. Were we wrong? I mean, was it the altitude? Were we wrong to laugh when there's the fire extinguisher scene?
No, and that's a good scene because it's so fun. That's like the funniest for us as filmmakers. The really most interesting scene to watch, because there's this time where it's shocking, and then when you come up to Rain and he's covered in blood, and you kind of like this nervous laughter, and then it kind of just dies out.
But we didn't think that was going to get a laugh. We had no idea, and that was across every screening we've been into has been huge laughs. Yeah. So we're like, everyone here is just so fucked up. Yeah. Right. So good.
But it's almost like you think you should laugh at it, but then you like, wait, there really is no joke here. He killed a kid, and everyone's upset about it, but you don't quite know yet. And that's for us. It's really it's the turning point of the whole film, really.
But we love that. We love that aspect that is it funny? Is it not funny? Should you laugh at it? That's for us the best part of it. Yeah.
It's a poignant moment.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
I was gonna just a confession. I've not been to the Stanley Film Festival. I'm not a follower of horror. We're doing a podcast. So I hear about Estes Park, but in talking to promotion, she was saying that a lot of the locals don't understand what's going on here in Connecticut. So I just speak to somebody who may not understand the genre, but I really enjoyed it last time.
That's even better, yeah.
And you got a fan here. So maybe is there anything else you could say to folks who've never tried it?
Yeah, the festival.
Yeah.
The festival is something, I think, it is a horror festival, but I think it touches upon a lot of different subgenres in there. So I think it is open, like the fact that you have not been here and you kind of enjoy this kind of film talks to that. And I think there are some really dark films here, which is good. And I think that kind of helps this festival to kind of put a mark on, make it unique, but it does obviously let in other different kind of films to kind of make it open more to general audience.
Even like hopefully with our movies, because it is a genre blend, you kind of have it's kind of funny, so I'll go in there, and then you kind of like maybe see a little bit of the horror and be like, I want to see more of that. So hopefully it's like a gateway drug or something.
Yeah.
Well, what challenges were there with so many children being like zombies and things like that.
Lots of challenges.
Lots of challenges. Yeah, that's kind of this ended up being one of our hardest things because the actors were so professional. We never had a problem with the actors. They knew their characters. They knew their lines. That was all set. You know, I think we were very prepared into how we're shooting it. Then a lot of the background kids were one of the hardest things to control because they're not professional actors. Most of them aren't. And as directors, you can't tell them what to do because they're extras. So you have to have your second AD. Actually, they're the ones who have to talk to them. So it's kind of like this. We tell the second AD tells the background extras what to do. So that was kind of the hardest control, is like how to make them act like monsters and keep their focus. And also we have a very limited time with kids. There's usually have only 6 hours after makeup to have the kids work. And that cuts our day down, our time shooting down.
And you know, like if you're shooting a normal day with normal actors, you can push it. You can go over. You can have overtime. You can't really do that with kids.
Do that. So that was actually the hardest thing, is to make them actually be menacing and scary when they turn into monsters. You know, with kids, you know, they're playing around. Even there, like it was funny. John was saying, "Tell the kids, go out and play in the playground. Just do that." And yet one of them would be like bored and sitting there, and then one of them would be look off this way. Like, come on, just play, have fun, play.
So you think that you just play is the easiest direction you can give a kid, and then they're just like,
Did they already get the Ritalin pills beforehand?
Yeah, but or they wish we gave them more, because they would be like laying down.
That was real medicine.
yeah. But another challenge was with even some of the main actors who were like amazing for how young they were and how committed they were. But you know, as the child actors, we're like committed as directors to getting as much like blood coming out of their mouth. So we're like, put more blood in, and then they're kind of like gagging and they're like, I can't. So then you have to like, you know, just get the shot and be done before they throw up.
Yes.
You know.
It was a challenge.
It was, and now any movie now after this, we can do if there's any kids in it, because we've done the max, like we've done every single thing that you shouldn't do with kids in terms of like filming, not sure. We've done in all in one film, and so now we can do anything. We've done night shoots with kids, we've done makeup with kids, and we've done the fight scene at the end. There's like maybe 60 kids involved with that, with mixed in with stunt people. And people who are in the business for a while would say, don't ever plan that kind of shoot. And we did that in one day. One night we did the whole fight sequence when they're leaving the school. That's usually like a 4 or 5 day shoot because of the time you have. We did it in one night, and people are like, you're crazy to do that. Now we've done it, so now we can say, oh, that's easy next time. So
That almost killed us that night. That was,
I can't imagine one of them is too many.
Yeah.
So you guys have given nods to some movies that were important to you. Breakfast Club, Gremlins.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Like, is there maybe an Alien reference, possibly?
Yeah, well, going through the hallway.
I don't know how much we want to talk about.
No, it's good. Yeah, I mean, the lot. I mean, Aliens was a big one.
Rain is a space marine.
And it was like, and the big thing with this was we didn't want to have guns in schools. So then, how do we make weapons from the school and not have them be guns, and making this baseball thing?
Yeah, they got to be wacky, but they still have to just ruin kids.
Yeah, so that was that was an idea. Where the idea came from with the baseball. It was I think we had a really good art department, and they were like, yeah, what can we do with things that are in the school? And looking around, what about like a baseball machine? And we kind of worked how we could put that together, and you know, the strap and everything, and yeah, it was kind of making that into like the Aliens, like Gatling gun, the Gatling gun. So it was fun to do that.
But we had here we've been talking a lot about like the horror influences, but in coming to this movie, because it is a genre blend, we had just an immense variation in, you know, like Train Spotting, Raising Arizona for the comedy, where it's like a darker kind of more like almost weird sense of humor, you know, not just like a kind of like a Adam Sandler type of comedy. It's a different type of comedy.
Yeah, like we're in Raising Arizona, they blow up a bunny. Like he puts it, and it's fantastical, but kind of in a funny way. So we kind of did that with this film. We also did like
we think that was hilarious.
Yeah,
some people might not though.
And like even a very arty reference is Elephant by Gus Van Sant. The long takes of, you know, the kids. A lot in Elephant is a blonde kid who's kind of walking through schools, and then there's a shot of a blonde kid kind of in the playground going out to get Shelly, and that was kind of like, wow, can we do like a really already shot right here? It could build up to this, and could people get that? And
but in a way, it's like
in?
hilarious because that is a very serious movie about violence in schools. So taking that as a reference for this ridiculous movie, I don't know.
Well, and I did feel the spoof part. I mean, you got to the point where at the end, they're just all coming at you. And it's hilarious. Doug's character,
he's so funny.
He's so random.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there, and at least in our section, really laughed at a lot of stuff that he was saying.
Yeah.
And was that pretty much planned right from the get-go, or did that develop as you were directing?
Well, that character is Leigh, who wrote the film.
Right.
And he'll say himself is that he writes films to be in. He'd been funny parts. He was in the first Saw. He's actually one of the first guys. He was in the room in Saw, and then he's in Insidious, and he has some funny moments there. But he hasn't had a big part like this, and this was his chance to really do something really funny. And we'd seen him in these movies, but this is a bigger part, and we're like, okay, Leigh, can you really do this? And he just fucking nails it. And
the first day on when we were shooting, we were like, we were definitely like a little worried before then because we knew Rain and all those other guys are going to bring it,
right?
And we just weren't sure. But the minute he started, acting on set, it was just like a way.
And he has these amazing lines, and a lot of them were some of them were in the script, some of them he made up on the script, some on the day, some of them came from other people. But he really pushed it. He was never satisfied with, this is the script, let's do this. He always wanted to make it better. So he was always rewriting things. Him and Ian on set, and they weren't like at all as writers thinking that we had to go with what they did. So it was great to have
out of
him.
Anybody, we had to
he pushed it more
the most as directors, and we're trying to get coverage and trying to move on. It's like, okay, this is awesome, but we need to call into it before the day.
He'd always have another suggestion. Why don't we try this?
We're like,
you're like, Leigh, you're the writer of the script. I love the script, and but he was like, let's just, and that's great to have that. Like, always push it to be better.
Whose idea was it for the cover art of Cooties? The hand and the lollipop.
That was a great poster designer. I forget his name right now, but that was specifically for Sundance. And now Lionsgate is going to start to have all these other different kind of promotional things. But yeah, it was a great image though. It kind of harkened back to like,
we wish we had come up with that.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
Beautiful.
It's kind of like this 80s kind of horror feel with the typography. So it was that to us set the tone for it, and hopefully the rest of the stuff will kind of feed off of that. I forget the guy's name. The designer, I have to remember his name. He does a lot of good. Like he'll take a movie that's done one poster and kind of redo it in his way, and be like, "Oh my God, that's what it should have been," and that's what he's done for us.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think of the new poster, though?
Did you see it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kids at play kind of thing.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, going back to the horror side, what do you guys think are some of the key elements to making something scary? And as co-directors, were you aligned in your approach to creating that atmosphere in the film?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is setting stakes so that when there's a threat, you actually are worried about these characters. And I think for us, it was building up that there's real relationships between everyone, and so when it comes that a kid's going to maybe kill them, you're worried for their safety. And I think, and hopefully that plays out. And you also feel like they all care for each other, so that they are trying to make it with each other, make it through this whole event together. And that's, I think, that one of the key things to making things scary is just real stakes. And we pretty much agreed on, we had a lot of same influences on that. And
basically, in terms of the way we work, is we disagree on everything until we're on set, and then we come across as agreeing on everything. Yeah. But it's very important on set for us to come across as a united front and limit the disagreements. But up until that point, I think that's the good thing about a partnership is you can bounce ideas off and say, oh, that sucks, this is better,
and push it to be the best it can be. We've been working together for over 10 years. And I think we're like brothers at this point, and went to school together, have started business together, have done it all together, and so we can really push each other to make it the best it can be.
And it definitely comes down to there's those moments where you're on the 20th day of shooting, and it's a night shoot, and there's 60 extras, 10 stunt people, 10 actors, the crew, and they're all looking at you, and you're like, thank God I have a partner that can like help me out because my brain is fried. So there's definitely those moments where like, I don't know how sometimes the directors, can always bounce out themselves.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough job, and it's good to have a good partner for that. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, now that you've had a movie that was at Sundance and now at the Stanley Film Festival, you guys said you've worked together for 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Yeah.
And you've done a bunch of shorts before that.
Yep.
Are there any shorts that you'd like to do now as a feature, or are you just looking forward to new projects?
There's no shorts that would turn into features. Even the short that we did to do this,
that would
never
work as a feature. That's definitely like a nice blip.
The Boob?
Yeah, the Boob short. That's just the short. That should stay. It could be a Boob 2, but that's again a short too. Boobs. Right now we're focusing on features. We do commercials still. Yeah. And that's kind of like our shorts. And for us, it's just as interesting to do commercials. It's hard to do a short story, get a story across in 30 seconds or a minute, and it also gives us a kind of chance to do different techniques of things and try things out. So we'll keep doing commercials and shorts if we have an idea. But I think usually we're gonna focus on doing features and commercials.
And maybe TV, I heard.
Yeah, hopefully some TV stuff as well. Turn into a series. We have a few ideas for that as well. But right now, our next project probably will be a feature called Bushwick. It's an action film, not comedy or horror. It's produced by the guys who did The Raid, XYZ. And it's the premise is what if Texas was going to secede from the United States? And so we imagined that they'd hire their own like Blackwater army to invade the bigger cities to force this to happen. And so we take that's the bigger story, but we take a very small slice of that story, and we follow a young girl home in Brooklyn as this invasion is happening, and she's trying to survive 5 blocks to get home. So it turned into like is it terrorists? No, it actually turned into like a modern day civil war with Texas coming into this neighborhood in Brooklyn. So it should be shooting in June, July. We have Jane Levy attached, who's in Suburgatory and Evil Dead. We're getting some other casting things set up right now, but that should be our next film in the spring and summer. Yeah. And so you've seen Boob.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That's how we got this Cooties film. Was, that short went to South by Southwest and then kind of went around, and the Spectrovision guys saw Boob and thought Cooties was similar, like horror comedy kind of thing, and we pitched for it. We pitched to get Cooties and like a 45-page lookbook and a sizzle reel, and they liked kind of our vision for it, and we came on board for that. Nice. Yeah.
Rap Cat was awesome too.
Oh, you seen Rap Cat? Oh, cool. Yeah, that was one of our very that's a funny one too. Yeah. We have the puppet. We use like 4 or 5 of the Rap Cat puppets.
Have you guys seen Rap Cat?
No.
It's a cat that raps, so it's just meow, meow, meow.
That's all he does.
That's all he does. Yeah.
And the storyline of Rap Cat is mimicked with Biggie, where he starts from the streets, sells some CDs, and then becomes kind of like a dealer, and becomes this the baller. And it's a puppet. It's a Rap Cat. It was a commercial. Do you know it was a commercial?
I didn't actually.
Yeah, that's good. It's a commercial for Checkers. Do you guys know? You don't know what Checkers is.
At all. It's hilarious.
Checkers is it's a fast food chain.
Okay.
And in the background, in one of the shots, is Checkers.
Okay.
So that was the only thing. So that was he was like their kind of their mascot for a couple of years, and we did this crazy music video for it.
Yeah, the shoplifting part cracked me up when you.
Yes. Yeah. They put them underneath you. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So you guys also worked with Dragonforce for one. Commercial. Was that your choice, or was that just kind of?
We do a lot
of the agency. The agency, it was one of those things where the agency like came up with some kind of stupid ideas, and one of them was to use Dragonforce, and not thinking we'd ever be able to get them, and then we got them, and they actually wrote a song specifically for that.
A custom song for
that. It was really fun.
Do you guys know Dragonforce?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's on Guitar Hero. It's the bonus. Did you guys know that?
No.
On Guitar Hero, if you beat the game, there's a Dragonforce song that you have to like.
Nobody can play
no one can do it. Yeah. So then
it's so fast.
So then they did this custom song for this Capital One commercial, and it was pretty fun. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
So we have to harass the talent next.
Uh-huh.
Is is there an embarrassing question or something really crying about on set?
Well, it's not embarrassing, but ask Leigh about Mad Max. He's known. It's not really a question. He's known that he can. If you turn off the sound of the first first or second, he can recite the whole movie with the sound off. And
that's cool. That just kind of shows you the crazy genius that he is.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and I think we've heard some of his. For Cooties 2, he's thinking it's like Cooties mixed with Mad Max. I don't know, but yeah, it's
Are you
pretty funny.
all attached to that?
We'd love to do it, and I think it all depends on if it does well. So yeah. We'll see.
I think it's a ways off before we know if that's not a reality.
Would be fun to do. Bigger.
What's the release for this?
September 18th.
Is it VOD or is
It's day and date. Yeah, it's so it'll be in limited theaters and then on demand. So that's good. And then Lionsgate they're launching this Lionsgate Premiere, which is their new kind of like Radius kind of thing, and so it all depends on Cooties. So to help launch this thing,
and it's kind of good because I think Lionsgate was just testing the waters with you guys, so it's good that the press and what's coming out of here is mostly positive. So hopefully that's giving Lionsgate a little bit more, they're feeling good about Cooties. So
another imprint would be incredible.
What?
Another genre imprint would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
We got the 2-minute warning like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, sure. We got to get rolling too.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.